More data equals more sales. And if you're not collecting data on your ideal clients right now, you're definitely missing a trick.
So, welcome back to the business behind your business. And look, recently we've had Karim El Gabaili talking about why 80% of marketing fails. And we've had some good comments and questions come in from our listening audience asking us, well, that's great. How do we actually identify why we're missing the mark and why we're not understanding our customers and what they actually want? Is there a way that we can access that knowledge, but without having to spend thousands and thousands of dollars and so much time when we're really short on time and short on resources as small medium business owners? And so we have got the right person online to help us answer that question, and that is Maxwell Nee, who's the Chief Revenue Officer of ScoreApp, which is actually a quiz marketing platform. Over 7,000 paying clients. Maxwell's also an multi-award winning entrepreneur, bodybuilder, and dancer. That's an interesting combination. And he's been featured in a lot of TV, radio, Forbes, Singapore's The Business Times, and the Australian Business Review. So we're privileged to have Maxwell on the podcast with us today. But look, actually, Maxwell, welcome. Let's just say welcome.
Thanks, Paul. I appreciate it. Hope you're well.
Yeah. Look, there is so many different things that we so many different ways we can, I guess, start looking at this topic. But I think, look, I go back to Daniel Priestley, who's I think one of the founders of ScoreApp, and one of my favorite books, which we were talking about before we started, was The Key Person of Influence, which was written a number of years ago. And it just in that, Daniel Priestley talks about how the digital revolution's changed everything, but it's also created so many opportunities for us as business owners.
Yeah.
And I think the next stage of that development was capturing the tools and the ability that we now have through digital technologies and particularly AI to actually make that process more efficient. So, where do we start with this whole idea of getting to know our customers better through technology?
Yeah, really good question. So I really believe that all the answers to what we do, especially in business, are already out there. Business is a thousands upon thousands of year old idea and industry. And for this example, I'd love to look at Amazon. If I was to log on to Amazon.com and Paul, you were to log on to Amazon.com, we would both see completely different websites, right? Because they're personalized down to the T, what I like to look like, what I like to look at, how much roughly I like to pay, right? What you like to look at, how much roughly you need to pay, and also all of our repeat purchases and when we need those next, right? Just, data rich learning and fitting around my personal life and fitting around your personal life. Like, no longer do we need to fit around and rush after work and go to like Kmart to do what we need to do. We got Amazon coming to us. So I believe that the genesis of why a lot of marketing fails is because businesses are more trying to sell what they have instead of having what they have being easy to buy. Right. So, I believe that really good products are bought and not sold. And they're bought by the business working out how to really spoon feed, silver platter the needs and wants and desires of their ideal clients using, the power of the internet.
Yeah, and look, you've mentioned Amazon there, and I think a lot of people are saying, well, hang on, I don't have the resources behind me that companies like Amazon have. So how am I going to do this? I'd love to know what my customers are and have them come to me ready to buy before I even talk to them. But how does a small or medium-sized business tap into that sort of resource?
Yeah, really good question. So, more data equals more sales. And if you're not collecting data on your ideal clients right now, you're definitely missing a trick. And it's happening right now in all industries, right? So very, very typical example is when you go stay at a 4 5 star hotel, they'll give you a survey, as you check out. Sometimes they give you a survey as you check in, and they'll say, what could we do better? What were you looking for? Why did you stay here? Anything we could improve? Where did we miss the mark? What's our score out of 10? Our net promoter score, right? Which a lot of people are familiar with. And that in itself is quiz marketing. It's the inbound of quiz marketing, and ScoreApp is the app that I'm talking about on this podcast. We help businesses to do that. We help small, medium businesses to collect data from their clients, use quiz marketing as a lead generation tool for your clients, so that you can monetize all the answers your clients want to give you.
Yeah. So you're talking about quiz marketing there. And I think in the example you've given with the hotel, you've already got your customer with you when you're asking for feedback on how you can do it better. And I guess where I see a lot of value in a tool like ScoreApp is going back to I guess a principle that Ryan Levesque has put out there, which is called the ask method. And his approach is quite different in that finding out from people what they actually want to buy, what are their needs before you actually go and develop a product to sell. Because in a lot, and I'm looking at some of my clients here who have, and look, they're not the only ones that have made this mistake. They've gone and had a rough inquiry from somebody about a particular product, and they thought, oh, that's a great idea. We can go sell that product, and they go and commit, and we've got warehouses full of product which are not being sold because they got information from one customer, but not enough detail or not enough data to say, hey, this is actually a viable product, or hang on, no, that's just one person. You're never going to sell.
Yeah, so ScoreUp solves all those problems. So the problem of generating leads like customer interest, the problem of what do our customers want, and the problem of even having a CRM. So here's how it works. Uh, I'll give you an example. So a really common example of scorecard marketing that's out in the marketplace is the body quiz assessment. So you might have seen those ads where a personal trainer says, "Find out which body type are you based on your frame, small, medium, large, and based on your specific body type, I'll create a custom program with your food, your nutrition, your workouts that'll help you achieve your summer body goals." Right? That's very clear and easy for people to understand. And a lot of us have probably done something similar like that before. Now, what that process is that that's a quiz marketing process, and it works really well because it's very compelling for the client because it provides personalized two-way feedback, and it also provides personalized recommendations. So my outcome as a different body frame to yours, Paul, would be a completely different outcome, and then that really helps me to think, wow, this personal trainer is the authority that I need to work with because they understand me better, right? And what does that look like in terms of numbers? you know, uh, ScoreApp is a lead generation magnet. So it's the action that your audience takes to turn from a passive viewer, a passive audience member, into a lead. And what's a lead? A lead is, hey, Paul, I'm putting my hand up. Here's my contact details. I might be interested in what you have to offer. So feel free to contact me. I'd love to stay in touch. That's a lead. And because we're using quiz marketing compared to very common lead magnets like a $10 off book discount code, an ebook, or an invitation to an event or whatever, the conversion rate goes up. So typical lead magnets convert at about 10%, 10-15%. A lot of the quizzes that we see that our clients use convert at 20 to 40%. So imagine building your email lists 2 to 3 times faster. That's the magic that happens.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds great. Now, I'm guessing as well that when you're getting higher leads, like 20, 30, 40%, those leads are coming to you actually ready to engage with you and ready to buy. Because one of the frustrations is you get a lot of leads come in and they're the wrong kind. But if you're using a quiz to sort of, I guess, get more data about your potential customer, when they actually come to you, they're the right kind of customer and they're ready to buy.
Yeah, so you've given them value because you've given them like a personalized report or whatever you have to offer, but they've invested time. They might not have spent money, but they've qualified themselves and they've invested time in wanting to talk to you, right? So think of it as a quiz funnel weeds out all the less than ideal interested people, so that you're only talking to the people who might have their credit card ready in hand, as an example.
Yeah, yeah. And I think, look, in terms of the numbers of clients that you need, if you're attracting the right kind of person, you're going to need fewer, I guess, engagements. So you're going to need fewer people in that funnel because you're going to have, I guess, a narrower funnel because more is actually coming the whole journey from that first impression to a buying customer.
Yeah, exactly. So here are the numbers, right? So about 3% of any market's ready to buy now. That's credit card in hand. I've identified my need. I know what I want. I know how much I'm willing to pay. I'm out there looking. Now, a lot of people target those people to talk to and try to only talk to those people. That's great. And you could get a sale today. But where you also want to invest is the next level down, which is about 7% of your market who want to buy something, just not today. In many ways, that audience is easier to target and easier to build relationships with, and you want them on your email list, on your audience list, listening to your podcast, because that level of the market, because they're not ready to buy now, they haven't decided who to buy from, right? So the top 3%, like if you're looking to buy a house and you bank with Commonwealth Bank and you've got a home loan approved, you've already decided who's going to do your home loan. But if you're looking to buy a house and you haven't got the loan approved yet, and you're in the next 7%, you haven't decided who's going to be your bank because you're out there looking for the best deal. That's much easier business to win, and that's where you want to invest your time. And it also triples your market size. Once you're in front of them, you're the first person in front of them.
Yeah. So I guess you mentioned a couple of things there in terms of getting people onto your email list where you can nurture them, I guess, from that position of that 7% to an active 3% willing to buy. But you can nurture them. You can actually tell them more about who you are, what you supply, how it's going to benefit them, and educate them closer to that point of sale.
Yeah, exactly right. And and there's tools you can use to automate that. So I'm not tripling the amount of work you need to do. I'm actually you're reducing it, right?
I love that. I love you saying that you've got something that will help me get the right customer in front of me, but do it in a way that's going to take me less time.
Yeah. So it's like a double win. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, if you're a typical small, medium business owner, you're often doing many different functions. And, one of those functions that we tend to, I guess, let slide when we're busy is that sales and marketing and, I guess,
Mm.
the lead generation. But if you've got
Hmm.
a way of doing that without you having to be involved in it that works, and look, the other thing I love about technology is it's working 24 hours a day. So you
Yeah.
can use that tool, tap into that, um, and it's going to be more efficient than me picking up the phone and ringing back people who have made an inquiry on my website and finding out that 9 out of 10 are the wrong
Yeah.
people. They're not going to buy.
Yeah. Yeah. Typically, so I used to own a business coaching business. We used to do about 250K a month. We had a pretty big team. And, if I had to put it down to a number, we would spend maybe 3 to 4 hours of effort for 1 hour of service delivery. So your marketing time, money, effort, uh, like bringing in new clients, new business is typically 75% of your day, right? Compared to the 25% of your day that you're actually just doing service delivery. So anything you could do to reduce that is a huge win.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just and I want to sort of delve into this a bit more because I think it's really relevant for a lot of people if they don't actually think about it. Is you mentioned spending 3 to 4 hours to win a customer where you're going to deliver 1 hour of value,
Mm.
and I'm guessing that the opportunity cost of that 3 to 4 hours exceeds the 1 hour of delivery in most cases. Well, for most businesses, it will. Um, and unless that customer is going to buy from you repeatedly, then you're actually losing money on acquiring that customer.
Yeah, or you need to charge a lot of money per customer, which also makes the customers harder to find, right? So,
Yeah.
you charge $1,000 an hour effectively for that service delivery, whatever that is. You're only really earning, and it takes me 4 hours to find a customer. You're only really earning 250 an hour.
Yeah, yeah. So I think what we're hearing is that use technology,
Yeah.
use the right technology, But I'm guessing there's still a way that we can get this wrong, even using technology, because I know that with a lot of tools, you can get to the wrong answer faster. How do we make sure that we're asking the right questions in the right areas?
Yeah, good question. So setting up this marketing campaign or this marketing tool, you typically would you take about a day and a half, way back when at the beginning of the business. But we've integrated an AI wizard where it'll take you through a scorecard, it'll take you through a needs analysis, saying, "Hey, Paul, what type of business do you have? Who's your ideal clients? What kind of offer do you provide?" And then it'll take those questions and then it'll go through an AI wizard and come back and spit out a marketing campaign and a scorecard for you in 3 to 5 minutes, which does about 6 or 7 hours of copywriting for you.
Wow.
So that's like draft one, two, and three done, and then you just got to go in and do final edits.
That's an amazing time saving, because I'm just thinking back to some of the times that I've had to, review copy, rework it, think through the process, and it's been like more than a day and a half.
Mm,
Like we're probably talking a week or 2 weeks of lost time just
mm.
coming up with the process and the copy, and not even knowing it's going to work.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah. So you've
exactly.
you've come up with this solution in five. So I can go on and create, I guess, an outcome in 5 to 10 minutes.
Altogether might be 20 to 30 minutes. But yeah, like the copywriting, the the most tiring, painful part, AI can do 95% of it. Yes.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So so very easy to set up. You don't
Yeah.
have to be a sales marketing expert to do this. So
Don't need to be a tech whiz, yeah.
yeah, absolutely perfect for small, medium business owners, or even your single person, your creators. So it sounds perfect. But okay, so we've got the tool created. How do we get it out there in front of the masses of customers that are going to come and spend money with us?
Yeah, good question. So a lot of people assume that you have to run ads and you got to build like this big machine, you got to put a lot more costs into it. We advocate that you, especially your first scorecard, your first marketing campaign, you don't want to put any money behind it because you want to test and validate as cheap as possible. So we have a resource for the paying clients, and paying clients starts at like $50 a month. It's not a lot of money. The resource is 7 powerful ways to generate leads, and it takes you through 7 organic ways, organic meaning just free ways to convert an audience into a lead and then take them through your paying client sales process. So one example is what we're doing today. So podcasting is so underrated and it's so powerful, right? So the average person that listens to podcasts listens to an hour a day. So that's 7 hours a week, right? And that's uninterrupted, focused time. That's probably more time than some people spend with their partners, right? each week. And s- that time as well, there's a different attention span compared to when someone's watching YouTube videos or when someone's watching Netflix, right? Like the attention span that you put into listening to a podcast is you want to learn something. You want to learn something, you're showing up to school, you're in self-development mode. So it's a really good time to get in front of people because their attention span is deeper. And, so simply sharing a scorecard on a podcast or to an email list or on someone else's email list, or keep using it as you guest on other people's podcasts is a huge free low hanging fruit.
Wow. So podcasts, obviously, I'm excited about that because, as you know, and you're listening to the Business Behind Your Business podcast. So I'm excited about that way. So podcasting, one of the great channels. What are some of the other methods that people are using to really, I guess, kick some goals with ScoreApp?
Yeah, so Daniel, the founder, my business partner, shared a post, I think like just last week, and he said that before he launched ScoreApp, which now is one of the UK's top 50 fastest growing companies, he direct messaged about 3,000 contacts over a period of, a year or two to just say, "Hey, look, I'm working on this thing. This is what it looks like. What do you think?" Right? So direct messaging, it's painful, it's slow, but it's free and it's powerful, right? So that's that's the one that I resort to the first, right? Because you could do that today, you could do that very, very quickly, and then from there, there's direct messaging where directed to someone's inbox, direct messaging into LinkedIn, Facebook, a WhatsApp group. You might be into a local entrepreneurs WhatsApp group. That is another really low hanging fruit.
Okay, so actually, I think talking to people who are going to give you good feedback, but also they're already engaged with the markets and the, I guess, the industries that you're involved with and that you're selling to. So I guess, yeah, being strategic about where you start with those initial contacts.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, that's great. Look, I think we're only just touching the surface of what we can do here. You mentioned Daniel Priestley. I've mentioned Daniel Priestley. I think now's a good time to talk about the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you share a bit more about the book?
Yeah, so there's a book called Scorecard Marketing. I think it's a best-selling book, or maybe that hasn't happened yet. But we've sold a whole bunch of copies. We're selling them every single day, and the book takes you through. There's two parts to it. First part is how and why quiz marketing works, like the philosophy, the psychology, and then the second part is how you can get it to work for you. So it's like a practical playbook guide for how to get started. And we have a bunch of physical copies that I'd love to get out to your audience as a freebie. So if not, you'll get a PDF copy. So you're gonna get something. And the link to go to is ScoreApp, ScoreApp.com/book, and we'll get that out to you.
Yeah, fantastic. And look, I've had the pleasure of starting to read through this book, and I must say it's an easy read. It's a really good easy read. It's not a hard thing to do.
Hmm.
Um, Definitely grab a cup of coffee, tea, whatever your favorite beverage is, and grab the book and sit down, and you'll be you probably won't want to stop because it's such an easy read, but you also
Hmm.
want to be making notes about the actions you should be taking. Look, I'm a big fan of Daniel Priestley myself. The key person of influence was one of my first introductions to Daniel and his method, which I think is sort of flows into the philosophy and the method behind ScoreApp. So a lot of great knowledge and experience and proven track record in developing the tool.
Hmm.
And the best part of it is, as a small medium business owner, you can get access to it by going to scoreapp.com and checking out ScoreApp. I think there is a free version, but the paid version, to me, your investment in that is quite minimal compared to your investment in time in trying to go it alone and do it yourself.
Yeah, exactly right. That's the goal, right? Software companies are designed to be lower barrier to entry. Everyone can use it. So there's a free version, and you can level up. So you could start free, and then as you get results, you increase your capacity. Then you go to the next paid version, next paid version. But all up, you're looking between 50 to like $180 a month. But if you're paying $180 a month, you're making a lot more money because it must really be working for you.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. I love that philosophy. Um, yeah, so look, as always, we put the links in the show notes. So scoreapp.com/book to get your copy of the book. Sorry, the title of the book is Is it Scorecard?
Yeah, so it's scorecard marketing. And you could Google it. It's on Amazon. It'll be on Audible by end of this month. But we'll get you out a free copy if you go to scoreapp.com/book.
Fantastic. Now, Maxwell, before we let you go, I did mention this at the beginning as we were introducing you. The connection between being a bodybuilder and a dancer, and you mentioned different body types in the quiz.
Yeah.
Not too many people would say that they're a bodybuilder and a dancer. So yeah. Is there a great story behind this? I'm sure there is.
Yeah, well, they were different stages of my life, right? So dancer was more in school, just coming out of school. Bodybuilder was, probably like halfway through my corporate career, and I'm just one of those, you know, addicted to challenges type of guys. I sort of get into something, I get really obsessed, and then I want to push the limits. And then once I've climbed that mountain, I'm looking for the next mountain to climb. So those are just some previous mountains that I, got obsessed about and wanted to climb.
Yeah, fantastic. And look, that's pleasing to hear because when we're talking to somebody like yourself who's got those challenges, wants to achieve, and you're involved in ScoreApp promoting that for small medium business owners to help them achieve as well. That's what we love to hear, love to be involved with, and we're extremely grateful for your time today in talking to us about not just ScoreApp, but also the process behind it and why it's of benefit to every small and medium business owner. But we're looking forward to hearing more and seeing more from ScoreApp, and particularly encourage listeners to grab their copy of the book at scoreapp.com/book.
Perfect. Thank you, Paul.
Thanks, Maxwell. That's a wrap for this episode of The Business Behind Your Business. We hope you found today's discussion insightful and valuable for your business journey. Before we go, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favourite platform. Share it with fellow business owners who could benefit, and send in your burning questions because we love hearing from you. Missed any of our previous episodes or looking for additional resources to help grow your business? Head over to our website at thebusinessbehindyourbusiness.com. There you'll find our full archive of past episodes, along with show notes, transcripts, and links to valuable resources mentioned in each episode. Your journey to business success continues at thebusinessbehindyourbusiness.com. Until next time, stay inspired, stay informed, and keep building the business of your dreams.